Welcome to the Dental Construction Insider, your podcast. If you're doing a startup, a expansion, a ground up,
Remodel.
a remodel, we're your people. You need to listen to us. We can help.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on anything.
Yeah, leave a comment in the bottom. Let us know what specific questions you have for your build. Okay, so let's talk today about startup help. So there's a lot of you guys out there that have startup help. I know I've said it a few times, if not 100 times by now, that we are not like a startup company that helps you with a little bit of marketing, a little bit of credentialing, a little bit of back office, and a little bit of front office. The business, we don't help you do the competition analysis or demographic report. That's not us. We manage construction. We manage the most expensive part of your startup, right?
Yeah.
Construction. Typically, we can save you more than what you spend on our fee, but that's not what we're here to talk to you about. We're here to provide you some information. So some of you guys are using startup companies. That's great. That's fine. You're going to, always want to ask what these guys are providing, what they're doing for you, what their experience is. So we'll start on our side. When you're in the bidding process, because I know they can start with you on demographic reports and LOIs for your lease and all that, but we'll go to the side where we are. So you have your floor plan, right? And they're probably helping you with that floor plan, kind of maybe overseeing that, to make sure that, it's moving timely and it's moving quickly with whoever you're using for the floor plan.
And they put everything that needs to be in there.
And they're helping answer whatever gaps are, or questions that are needed by the designer or architect. They should be helping you with that, doing that for you, filling in those blanks, because all of that stuff will help you in the long run when it comes time to bidding, which is what they usually help you with. That will go into the bidding phase, right? So they'll start helping you with vetting contractors and putting things out for bid. You're going to want to be careful when you're going to want to always have bids broken out completely by the different divisions. We've talked about this before, people, right?
Yes.
Broken out by the different divisions.
24 different divisions.
Yes, at minimum. There's more than that, but let's get the key ones, right?
Yes.
So you're going to want to get it broken out by divisions. You're going to want to see what those numbers come out at across the board from your different bidders. You're not going to get one bid, right? Doesn't matter what your startup person tells you. I mean, we've talked about that before too. When you have your pool cleaned, your yard cut, your house cleaned, your house painted, you always get bids from people, right?
Yep.
You're going to do that with your, $500,000 or
Almost close to $1 million.
close to $1 million build by the time it's done, right?
Yep.
You're going to want to ask those questions. You're going to want to see what that cost. You're going to want to get bids, is what I'm saying, from different people, because you got to find out what that is. You're going to find out what those contractors are like and all that. And the startup person should help you do that. They should help you feel confident about the people that are putting numbers together for you. They should help you feel confident about the numbers that you're getting back. And, if they're helping you with this process, then they should be able to speak to what different things cost per square foot, or find ways to value engineer things. That's where you really save money.
Yep.
Find ways to value engineer things, meaning getting the same thing is built the same, but for less cost, right? By using different building methods or materials. You can do both. So you're going to want your startup person to help you determine that. There's some good ones out there that are real helpful. There's some others that maybe have different,
Views or.
yeah, different agendas, but
Yeah.
you're just going to ask a lot of questions, and you're going to lean on them because, you're putting a lot of money together. And if you're paying them for service, they need to be able to provide service for you.
That's right.
So that's what I would recommend to you guys. Once you get those bids back, then you feel bid. You go into awarded that you're going to want to see, site visits are important. Hopefully they're making site visits for you. If not, at least that they're following some sort of checklist or something that they can do, or their experience with, reviewing pay apps like we do, reviewing change orders, asking for different photos. And so so this is a good one. So you're going to want, because sometimes, a lot of times, you're building something and you may not be in that area, so you don't go by there that often. But maybe on the weekends, but maybe like once or twice a month. Typically, the startup people will get updates from the contractor for you, and they're probably doing this already. But just in case they're not, you're going to want to get your floor plan right, and you're going to want to have different photos taken every week of different areas, and that's going to help keep everybody honest, so that they're not just sending you photos that they want you to see. They're sending
I love when
photos
they
of
do
the
that.
different areas.
Yep.
Yes, you're like, no, I didn't.
They'll avoid the floor or the ceiling.
Right. They're zooming in.
Yeah.
Zooming in like right there in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, man. I asked for this photo in this
Yeah.
area. Usually you send them like a floor plan with arrows telling them, or circled areas that you want, and you're telling them what specifically to capture. So that helps, and that shows that you've got a vested interest. We've said it before. If you can go by there, before they close the walls, it's really good for you to do that. But you're going to want to lean on these guys to be able to do, some of the heavy lifting for you guys, because they're willing to do it. You just got to ask them for it. It depends on what their deliverables are. So yeah, I mean, but like I said, majority of that stuff is done during the floor plan design and during the bidding, right? Because once you're in construction, it's usually like gangbusters to get in and get out of there. So
And the bidding part's really important, because if you're very thorough with the bidding, you shouldn't have any change orders unless you yourself as the dentist adds or subtracts something, because even when you get credit, it's considered a change order.
yeah, there's both. There's they're added
So-
subtractions.
Right.
Now, that's true and all, except for that there's change orders that are imposed by the city.
Well, that too, yes.
So and we've had quite a few jobs that have zero, but there's always city stuff, and it's so hard to fight that, and you got to choose your battles. Like, all right, do I he wants like an extra strobe or
For the
whatever,
fire alarm.
So like
Yeah.
oh yeah, if he wants a fire alarm, a whole fire
Oh
alarm,
my
like
gosh.
whoa, hold on a second.
I know, it passed the review,
Review.
but now all of a sudden you want a fire alarm? Come on.
Yeah.
Once it's almost done.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what? Now you're telling me like, oh, where's the fire alarm? What? You've inspected this? You inspected the pre-wire and all that at night. Oh gosh. Anyway, that's another story. All right. Well,
Horror stories.
I think that's really all I have for startup help. I know it's a short video, but
Leave a comment if there's something we missed or that you'd like to know.
just yeah. Good luck. We'll see you guys in the next one.